Aldo from Zero to Mastery here. In today's tutorial, we're diving into the theory behind creating a stunning logo. Now, this isn't just any tutorial. It's part of Daniel Scafano's Complete Career Toolkit course available on Zero to Mastery. So whether you're looking to create a beautiful logo or prepare a package of job-ready materials, then click the link in the top right-hand corner or check out the description below for the full course. Alright, that's it from me. Let me hand it over to Dan. Enjoy!
So I want to talk about logo design basics. Before you can start your design journey, here's what you need to know and feel confident about the process. Let's jump in. So what makes a good logo? Though the quality of a logo is subjective, there are certain elements that make a logo either good or bad. A good logo is simple, memorable, unique, versatile, appropriate for your industry, of course, and relevant to your target market. Visual hierarchy directs viewers to the most important information first, then guides them through the rest of the content with visual cues, such as fonts, colors, sizing, and more. You want your company name to be larger and bolder than your slogan to create visual hierarchy. Let's take a look at this Mercedes logo. You can definitely see the name of the company, but they're also using a very iconic symbol that is basically taking up the majority of the real estate in their logo. And that's fine if you have something that's so iconic. Over time you may, but maybe not just yet. There are the three main types of logos. The first one is the wordmark logo. This is the most classic form of a logo, and sometimes referred to designers by or as a logo type. This is Coca-Cola. Wordmarks use only your business name, no symbols or monograms, an existing or custom typeface. This type of logo works best if you have a short, distinctive business name and no slogan. Then there is the monogram logo. So what is a monogram logo? A monogram is a logo that contains 1 to 3 letters, usually a company's initials or first letter. The monogram can act as the symbol on the logo with the company name below. In the case of well-known brands, the wordmark is dropped. For example, P&G for Procter & Gamble, and the example we see here for Volkswagen, VW for Volkswagen, or LV for Louis Vuitton. But most new businesses would keep the business name under or beside the monogram to build more recognition. Then we have the combination logo. These are exactly as they sound like, combination of a wordmark and a symbol. This type of logo allows your brand to be easily recognizable because it uses the two design elements that represent your brand together, and they can be used separately when needed. It's no surprise that this is the most common type of logo. So the third step we haven't talked about is getting color, font, and symbol ideas. Like that can be pretty hard. So with all the research that you may have done already and ideas that you may have generated, you should probably have a solid idea of your target market, brand attributes, as well as the style and layout of the logo you want. Let's get into things like colors, fonts, and symbols now. Logo colors are huge. Think about how your audience will perceive it and where it will be displayed. Choosing a color for your logo design isn't just about picking what looks good to you. Your logo colors will be your brand colors. So imagine how they'll look on all of your business assets. As you can see over here, your logos have the power to convey that your brand is either maybe sophisticated and luxurious or quirky and fun. In this case, we have McDonald's, and the yellow and red really play up. It seems very family friendly. Red is often used for restaurants and with food. So you should use color to set the mood for how you want your brand to be perceived. Different colors evoke different feelings and emotions, so you got to choose them wisely. Do you see your brand represented by cool tones like blue, green, and purple, or warm tones like red, orange, and yellow? Or perhaps you lean more towards black, white, and gray to match your brand identity. You should pay attention to the colors your competitors use as well. You'll want to stay with colors that maybe are familiar to your industry. But you want to differentiate just a bit. Here are a few emotions and descriptors associated with some of the most well-known colors. Let's jump into it. So black, power and sophistication. It can also demonstrate elegance, formality, mystery. Blue, professionalism, and success. It's commonly used in corporate logos, but works in many industries. We see tech over here, we see the auto industry, we see fintech or financial industry over here, like banking. Orange, joy and optimism results in an enthusiastic, excited cognitive association, and it's also great at grabbing attention. So we have Firefox, Home Depot, Amazon. Green, balance and serenity, commonly used when brands want to emphasize a connection with the environment, well-being, health, and maybe even calmness. Starbucks, Whole Foods, John Deere, like tractors. So we have a variety using green. Pink. Pink is generally seen as feminine and nurturing. It doesn't always have to be that way. Depending on the shade, it can also have a gentle and calming effect. And you could have an association with safety, maybe in nurturing. Other shades, however, are more likely to generate associations with like maybe love, flirting, and femininity. But if we see this over here, like Lyft uses pink, and sometimes it's not exactly as we define it. Even Baskin and Robbins. But I can definitely see the approach with Barbie. Purple, royal and spiritual. And throughout history, purple has been considered a regal color. The connection with royalty has led to a big association of purple with wealth, nobility, and luxury. When we think of like the best type of chocolate or the best cards. But then we come to something like Twitch, where it's just about gaming and streaming and other things, like just streaming other content, not just gaming. And maybe it's the best place to stream. I don't know. But it doesn't necessarily have to equate with something like this. People are kind of pushing boundaries in these cases. Red, confidence and ambition, frequently used to represent things like masculine energy and found to stimulate appetite and energy. So once again, you can see how a lot of restaurants, a lot of food or like soda companies will use red. But when you come to things like Netflix or Lego, maybe it's energy they're trying to stimulate. Netflix is like this whole new thing. It's kind of like getting on the couch and watching Netflix on your computer or on your TV. Like it just seems like something that's a little intimate and, calming. Yellow, happiness and positivity. And it's often very bright and frequently captures the eye. And it's meant to improve self-esteem. And like the color red, it also is believed to stimulate appetite and increase energy. We have things like National Geographic. Ferrari has a lot of yellow in their symbol. And once again, McDonald's, the main arcs and the M are yellow. But what about white? Pure and simple. Traditionally, it's associated with purity, cleanliness, innocence, and simplicity. Wikipedia, we have Toyota's white or silver-ish, and we have Apple. I can definitely see the association there. But what about gray? Classic and serious. It's becoming a more popular style. Gray is a great color to use if you really want to achieve a more mature look. So you can see Forbes, where you get your news, Swarovski, where you get jewelry, Mercedes, high-end vehicles. So you may be thinking, how many colors should I use in my logo? And the majority of brands use between 2 and 3 colors, with one of these colors being either black or white. But there are even logo fonts. With thousands of fonts to choose from, picking one for your logo isn't an easy task. Each font conveys something different and should fit with your brand attributes and identity. There are serif fonts, sans serif fonts, script fonts, modern fonts, and even display fonts. Serif fonts, you'll see these little circles over here. They have little feet on the edges and they're referred to as serifs. And you even have these like kind of little lips over here. They're timeless. They're high-end. They're classic fonts associated with tradition and propriety. The most well-known serif font is probably Times New Roman because of its timelessness. It's often used to attract a more mature demographic. Then there are sans serif fonts. These are very popular. They don't have the little feet like serif fonts do. So they tend to have more clean and modern look. They're easy to read and work well across different mediums. So I'm thinking like Inter is a serif font and Helvetica is one that's really popular. Handwritten and script fonts add tons of personality to a logo, and they tend to look really formal and elegant. This is one of the harder styles to pull off because script fonts are really hard to read at a glance. But when it's done right, they can make your logo distinctive and iconic. Or you can see like just natural script movements within the actual letter forms and how close they are to one another. And uneven. Modern fonts. Modern fonts are sans serif fonts that hold a certain sophistication and starkness that makes them most effective with younger demographics and popular among app and tech companies. Very popular modern font is Futura. Look how circular and geometric it is, even sharp on some of these edges. Display fonts. Lastly, these display fonts tend to be a broad category of out-of-ordinary fonts, and they add major visual impact. They can be bubbly and fun, like we see over here with this font called Lobster, and how thick it is, and it's kind of a script font as well. But they could also be large and futuristic, and this one's called Impact. But beware of using ones that are super trendy or that don't match your brand personality. Symbols are another design element you can add to your logo to help people recognize your brand. Symbols can be pictorial and literal, like animals or light bulbs. So we see the apple in this case. Or they can be geometric and abstract, like the hexagon or overlapping circles that we see here in the MasterCard symbol. Just make sure that whatever symbol you choose doesn't confuse or mislead your audience.
And that's a wrap on logo basics. A huge thanks to Dan for guiding us through this tutorial. If you found this lecture helpful, just imagine all the things you can learn in his Complete Career Toolkit course, linked in the top right hand corner, as well as the description down below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future tutorials from Dan and other expert Zero to Mastery instructors. Alright, that's it from me. Keep on learning, and I'll see you in the next video.